Saturday, 11th September 2021 is here, and UBC's Lunchtime News is here to give you an update on the things and the stories that are building up over the course of the last 12 hours. My name is Priscilla Nalwoga, and welcome. Starting with the story of President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has appointed leaders of the Karamoja sub-region to form Karal intelligence units as it emerged with the criminal alliances among clans and using mobile phones to mobilize and rattle cattle, which then will sell to buy guns and terrorize communities. He called on them to recruit informers in Karals who will give information to security to respond immediately and also fast. Details do follow.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is in Karamoja sub-region to assess various issues affecting the region, especially the re-emerging insecurity occasioned by youth criminal alliances among the J, Matheniko, Bokora, PN and Topoth clans who attack their own communities, steal cattle and keep them before selling them off in exchange for guns. They also stage ambushes, especially along Kabon-Kotido route, to steal from their communities. The president says that government will restore sanity in the region, especially through fighting criminality, because it has a big capacity than before when they started the disarmament process. The president was addressing leaders from Karamoja sub-region in a meeting that took place at Moringa State Lodge, Napak district in Karamoja sub-region. The meeting was attended by 26 MPs from 9 districts of Karamoja, all the 9 RDCs and all the security heads in the region.
To have like 5 characteristics. Number 1, raiding cattle. And you are saying the Topotha, the Dodoth, they want to raid. Well, they shouldn't, because they will be destroyed. Especially when they try to raid on a big scale. That one is easy to deal with. I don't know why it should be such a big problem. So the one problem is raiding. Anybody who raids cows, because cows are not gold, which you can put in your pocket. Cows are sin. How can they be a problem?
General Museveni promised to increase the capacity of the brigade in the area up to 70,000 personnel.
Those UAVs you are talking about, what you call drones, we have got UAVs which can be in the air for 36 hours. All these are easy to solve. And the UPDF will solve them. But what will remain is crime now. Crime. Where the police should come in. I will meet these security people, and we shall agree on the distribution of roles. The UPDF should be able to deal with this little problem. This is not such a big problem, especially for us, because we have got a lot of capacity now, even more than that time when we were disarming. We have now big capacity now. Big. This is nothing.
The president also agreed to strengthen the justice system in the region by adding more state attorneys as requested by the leaders. The president commended the Ministry of Karamoja Goreti Kitutu, highlighted key areas of intervention by government and other development partners in the area that include water production, education, infrastructure, health and others. In a memorandum by leaders read by the chairperson of Karamoja Parliamentary Group, also Member of Parliament for Pien County, Honorable Ridge Mayor Chia, highlighted that while for over 15 years the region has become an investment destination for many Ugandans and foreigners after the removal of over 40,000 illegal guns from the hands of civilians by the army, the unattended to issues in Karamoja have resurrected the insecurity.
The cumulative effect of unattended conflict situations then emboldened some other criminal gangs and groups to start now going openly to attack other peaceful and disarmed communities.
They called on government to initiate a 10 to 15-year free education program for all youth, from primary to secondary education, to stop their recruitment and training into cattle raids. The group also recommended intelligence-led operations to curb crime and pave way for disarmament and quick deployment. Samuel Senono, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Samuel Senano, for that news. Mourners have described the fallen business tycoon Haji Ibrahim Chibirige Mwanga, commonly known as BMK, as a talented businessman who ran businesses successfully and groomed many. He is said to be the first businessman to import second-hand vehicles from Japan that propelled him into owning many businesses, including Hotel Africana. According to the family, BMK, who died of prostate cancer yesterday at Nairobi Hospital, will be buried this Sunday. Let's take a look at the details.
Relatives and friends have thronged the home of the fallen business tycoon Chibirige Mwanga, popularly known as BMK, at his residence situated at Naguru Hill to condole with the family. By midday, service providers were at advanced stages of preparations to start prayers as mourners await for the body that will arrive at Entebbe on Saturday.
We expect the plane to be here. It's a chartered plane coming tomorrow around between 1 and 2 p.m. And you know, clearance from the airport may take another 1 or 2 hours. So we expect his body to be here by around 4 or 5. So burial is definitely on Sunday at 2 p.m. But the celebrations, the preachings and so on will start by 11 a.m. at Nkowe, Hoima Road. He bought that land. It's a burial ground. It's a cemetery for Muslims. And he demarcated off a piece where he buried his own mother, his own daughter, and that's where he's also going to be buried.
Isaac Ngovia, who is a family member, confirmed to the media that BMK died of prostate cancer.
Like I said, 7 years ago, he had a business trip in Japan. He had terrible backache, and he went to see his doctors in Thailand. So that's where he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and it was already at stage 4, and it was very vigorous.
The business personalities have described BMK as a talented businessman who ran successful businesses and also groomed many.
It's sad. This morning we received the worst news of the week, the passing on of one of our favorite parents, one of our mentors, people who have, one of the example of people who have hustled from zero to the top. He's a billionaire, self-made. He's not someone's son. Just the same way you see Balaam. He motivated me to become one, and I'm looking forward one day to become one. He has motivated so many young people. He has hosted our concerts at Africana, at his parking. He has hosted us in his gym, in his health club. We shall forever remember him as a kind-hearted Muslim doctor.
He has been helping many people. He has paid school fees for many people. He has always been an entrepreneur. He has started created many jobs for many people. So
it's reported that BMK is the first businessman who started importing second-hand vehicles from Japan. That propelled him into owning many businesses, including Hotel Africana in Kampala, Moroto, and Lusaka. He also owns motorcycle companies in Uganda, Rwanda, Zambia, Tanzania, and Nairobi, Kenya. BMK will be buried on Sunday at Hoima Road. Philip Aguta, UBC News in Kampala.
What inspiring stories are being told of the late BMK? Our prayers are with the BMK family, the Muslim community, as well as the business community that has lost a father and a mentor. May his soul rest in peace. We continue with the Executive Director of Kampala City Capital Authority yesterday having interacted with the leaders of markets in a closed-door meeting to forge ways forward of transforming their businesses and working together for a common good. This interaction was at the KCCA headquarters in Kampala, where leaders promised to work hand in hand with the authority. Kaye was there and he brings us the details.
Developing Kampala City has met the market leaders to meet the Executive Director for Kampala Capital City Authority on developments of markets. The Executive Director, Kampala Capital City Authority, Dorothy Chisaka, asked the leadership of markets to collaborate with local council leaders for a conducive development agenda for Kampala.
Government has 15 markets, and about 6 months ago, we installed interim leadership, which was to serve for a short time as we get ready to get more permanent leaders. We wanted to receive their reports, and we have received reports from all the 15 markets. What are their achievements? What are their challenges? What do they propose for a way forward on running the markets effectively?
Dorothy Chisaka tipped on organizing barazas to sensitize vendors and local council leaders on leadership and business.
One of the challenges we have between KCCA and the markets is the issue of vendors, mobile vendors and hawkers. The mobile vendors and hawkers hinder the work of the market people. And on our part, we have a challenge because the mobile vendors and hawkers congest the streets and an inconvenience pedestrians and to people who are driving. So we are discussing that we need to work together. Our law enforcement have been accused of being the ones who are fueling the mobile vendors and hawkers. But let's work together. Since they said they know who is doing it, let's work together to ensure that we deal with this evil and get rid of it.
She urged the leadership of markets to collaborate with Kampala Capital City Authority to address their challenges. The acting chairperson, Owino Market, Susan Kushaba, asked for more security in the market due to the mushrooming violence and politicization of the market. The leaders asked for a total ban of vendors vending alongside roads.
Street vending is affecting all markets, let me say, in the whole Kampala. Street vending, most of the time, the beneficiaries are KCCA law enforcement because they are the one promoting it. When they find someone on the street, they just have to say, they chase that person away. Then someone behind that legal law enforcement comes back and pick money from that vendor whom they have chased. So when they leave the place, all people are on the street. So KCCA law enforcement, they should work hard really to change their picture in public, because they are the one causing this chaos of street vending.
Wycliffe Mudach, UBC.
Indeed, cooperation is the way forward. State Minister for Transport Fred Byamukama has intervened in a long-standing compensation dispute between families who were affected by the oil pipeline. The families include those on the critical oil roads in Bulisa District, Kabale District and Chikube District.
There has been a standing dispute involving a number of families demanding for compensation for their land that has led to the stalling of some oil roads in Chikube District.
Disheartening that we are having this and stalling our projects. As a district, we are very, very, of course, concerned. This is a very strategic road taking us to the airport.
Masindi Biso, Hohwa Nyairongo, Charusheshe, Butole and Kabale Kaziramfumbi were some of the affected projects. The Kabale Kaziramfumbi, 25.7 kilometers, which joins the Hoima Kaboya Road to the international airport under construction, is one of those roads that have been delayed.
The project cannot be delayed. The government use more money because once the contractor lacks land, when the work has commenced, they always charge the government. And we have agreed the money which they are fighting for, little can go to the so has been claiming is the wife, then majority goes to cater for these children.
State Minister for Transport Fred Byamukama has asked parties to agree with authorities to see that this issue is resolved amicably. This was during a field visit and resolving of a compensation dispute in Chiziramfumbi sub-county Chikube district. These properties were affected by the road construction works.
There's a lot of people on the way who are not well compensated, and also a few problems. Families not petitioned our minister for transport.
And there are also some people who come in as kayungirizis who guide people, and people end up spending a lot of money in court.
Both the widows to the late, Justin Nsimire Nalwoga and Sylvia Twijuche, and their father-in-law welcomed the outcome. The LC1 chairman, Charwen Sambia village in Chiziramfumbi Town Council, Leonard Ntoreine, was arrested on orders of the minister for issuing contradicting documents to the parties involved. The acting head of land acquisition in UNRA, Juliet Oyela, advised the public to always embrace such mediations to resolve disputes outside court. According to UNRA, at least 95% of the contested land is now compensated for.
Cannot be delayed, the government lose more money because once the contractor lacks land, when the work has commenced, they always charge the government. And we have agreed the money which they are fighting for, little can go to the so has been claiming is the wife, then majority goes to cater for these children.
And we know it will be taken back to court for consent judgment. It is a big win for us, and we are grateful to the Honourable Minister.
Story compiled by George Niyonzima for UBC News.
On to the National Drug Authority that has impounded 180 boxes of assorted drugs from pharmacies and clinics selling medicines illegally. The total value of impounded drugs has been estimated to be over 46 million. Kaye and Abigaba give us the details into this operation.
National Drug Authority has conducted a targeted enforcement operation on drug outlets in Kampala district to ensure compliance with its policy. The head of enforcement, Samuel Chomukama, says the operation was intended to protect the population from substandard, counterfeit and unqualified persons.
Following offences: carrying out a business of a pharmacist without a license contrary to section 14 subsection 3 of the National Drug Policy and Authority Act. Secondly, unlawful possession of classified drugs contrary to section 27 subsection 2 of the National Drug Policy and Authority Act.
The targeted outlets include 22 drug outlets, of which 14 were pharmacies, 4 clinics, drug shops, among others. The culprits have been charged with 2 counts of carrying out a business of a pharmacy without a license and unlawful possession of classified drugs.
Was arrested and held at Kabaragara police station. Mushabe Rogers and Shawita Namagembe were arrested and held at Katwe police station. Nakanyike Reste was arrested and held at Katwe police station. Kasendwa Badru and Dungu Fred were arrested and held at Chira Road police station. Mugenyi Brian, a juvenile of 17 years, was arrested and held at Chira Road police station because he was found advertising herbal medicine. Namudu Jazira, a juvenile aged 17 years, was arrested and she's held at all.
National Drug Authority, however, has advised all operators whose drug outlets have been closed and drugs impounded to report to their offices for guidance. Zahara Abigaba, UBC.
When we return, we get to look at the tourism development in the Toli sub-region. Let's take a break.
Uganda has the best and most affordable rates when it comes to withdrawing and sending money. Withdraw money for as low as 330 shillings up to a maximum of 12,500 shillings. Sending money is just as affordable as ever. Absolutely unbeatable. Use Airtel Money on the most affordable network with the largest network of Airtel Money branches in Uganda. Dial *185# to get started. Airtel Money. Simple, secure, borderless.
5 for 5, 5 times the winning, yeah. 5 times the happiness, yeah. 5 times the luckiness, yeah. 5 for 5, oh yeah. It's 5 for 5. 5 for 5, 5 times the money, yeah. 5 times the shopping, yeah. 5 times the prizes, yeah. 5 for 5, oh yeah. It's 5 for 5. 5 for 5.
Win 100,000 Uganda shillings weekly in the 5 for 5 jackpot. Simply download the Center mobile app. Click Center on the go to open your account online. Transact 5 times or more using Center mobile, Center Visa, and Center Agent to stand a chance to win. The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. So, participate in the 5 for 5 jackpot and win millions in daily and weekly prizes. The 5 for 5 jackpot is brought to you by Centenary Bank. Our bank, Centenary Bank, is regulated by the Bank of Uganda. Customer deposits are protected by the Deposit Protection Fund.
Getting GoTV was the best decision James has ever made. Finding a good place to watch football was never easy, but it was costly. Until James discovered something big. Now he can finally enjoy the benefits of homegrown advantage with a decoder and 1 month of GoTV Valley. For just 25,000 shillings, enjoy the world's biggest leagues and cap competitions. GoTV Uganda, love it.
The Uganda Cancer Institute, together with the Palliative Care Association of Uganda, will host the 3rd Uganda Conference on Cancer and Palliative Care from the 23rd to the 24th of September 2021 on the theme Cancer and Palliative Care in COVID-19 and Other Challenging Situations. The conference will be held virtually with some sessions broadcast live on UBC TV plus workshops at hospitals to bring together at least 400 stakeholders. The Prime Minister of Uganda will be chief guest at the opening session and there will be a keynote address by the Director General of the World Health Organization. To participate, register through https://conference.uci.or.ug/ at 200,000 shillings only for Ugandan delegates. Upcountry delegates will attend through satellite facilities at regional referral hospitals, hospices, and palliative care organization centers and referral cancer centers. For more information, call 0392 080 713 or 0414 540 410. Email conference@uci.or.ug or conference@pcau.org.ug.
Join us virtually as we celebrate URA's 30th anniversary and annual Thanksgiving service. The event will be live on all major TV channels and on Zoom. The guest of honor will be His Excellency, the President, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The celebrations will take place at the KOLOLO Independence Grounds on the 15th of September 2021, starting at 10 a.m. Ebenezer, thus far the Lord has helped us.
Lord, I am thankful, thankful for the name of Jesus, thankful for the blood that cleans us. Lord, I'm thankful for you. Each day I am thankful, thankful for the Spirit's leading, thankful that in you there's healing.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Thank you so much for still being with UBC, your preferred network, inspiring Uganda. UBC Lunchtime News does continue and into our business sector, where we get to look at Uganda Tourism Board having just concluded a visit of some of the underdeveloped sites in Atoli sub-region in northern Uganda. This is intended to enter into a partnership with local communities and investors to promote the sites as world-class tourism hotspots. Mark Wedulo brings us the story.
With a long-standing history of violence and political unrest, Acholi sub-region can now boast of increasing economic activity due to government peacekeeping initiatives. This has made the region a high priority on Uganda Tourism Board's tourism agenda.
Those days we were having problem security because of the Konyu War, but now we have the security is now stable. It's now stable. And second, the Ministry of Tourism also have recruited a security officer. We have one. They are on top of the tour guide. We work with them. Also, we work with the OC Police or Particle Post, also is near with us, and the GISU.
The UNESCO General Assembly Convention of 1972 stipulates that sites such as these ought to be protected by the state. However, Their underdevelopment is due to the region's prior insecurity that led to encroachment on the tourism sites over the years, a concern for many local communities in Acholi who hold high cultural attachment to these sites.
In the past, this site is where the Lord Resistance Army Commander Joseph Kony came and performed his ritual here. I've learned from my grandfather that he slaughters a white sheep here to perform his spiritual beings. And even in the past, when LRA want to attack a nearby center here, they first come and they seek for permission from these hot springs. But now, since people have encroached in it, we need to go to a rightful mechanism in ensuring that the place is protected.
The site hasn't been developed. When I say developed, I mean the surrounding site to host visitors. We haven't got the required infrastructure.
I can carry you in my hand, but...
One of the greatest challenges is, of course, access to these tourism sites. The fact that the areas haven't been developed is challenging the potential to tourism. But Uganda Tourism Board is trying its best to establish, relationships with these communities to make sure that they can improve these sites.
Yes, as government, as UTB, we are a facilitator. We don't go directly into development, but definitely it's our role to look for partners. It can be a PPP, that is public-private partnership. It can also be private sector intervention only.
For a very long time, tourism has been viewed as a fun and lively activity, which it is, but also there is an element of it in regards to sustainability, conservation, and I think that this is an area where the media could help us to take to the public.
Heavy public and private sector investment is due if the tourism potential in Acholi sub-region is to be realized. Uganda Tourism Board is working with Uganda Wildlife Conservation Education Center, Uganda Wildlife Authority, along with community leadership to map out various high-potential sites to add on northern Uganda's tourism itinerary. Wadulo Makanold for UBC News in Gulu District.
Ninze Wim Van Halleputte, CEO w'ekitongole kya MTN Uganda. Kulwange nabakozi ba MTN bona intusa okwendeza iseife Chabazinga wa Busoga William Gabula na Diope Owokuna amatwichira ago mukuzi ogwo musanvu amalungi fena ngaba MTN twikiriza nti obusoka okwisanya na mani funvua Chabazinga wa Busoga ebyanda ne ebyanda.
On to our international news, where we get to look at the relationship between U.S. and China. U.S. President Joe Biden and Chinese leader, the 11th Jinping, spoke for 90 minutes on Thursday in their first talks in 7 months, discussing the need to ensure that competition between the two world's largest economies does not veer into conflict. How deep is the China-U.S. relationship?
Chinese President Xi Jinping says the recent U.S. policies towards China have strained bilateral ties, and that's not in the interest of the people of the two countries or the world. He made comment in a phone conversation with his U.S. counterpart Joe Biden on Friday. Xi Jinping also called for the two countries to bring ties back to the right track and to shoulder more international responsibilities in the face of global challenges. U.S. President Joe Biden stressed the importance of China-U.S. relations and agreed to lead bilateral ties to the right track through more cooperation and negotiations. Both leaders also agreed to expand cooperation on climate change, COVID-19 pandemic prevention and control, as well as economic recovery.
An update onto the CAF Champions League that is ongoing within the country. Goals by Eric Kambale and Martin Chiza gave Express FC a 2-1 victory over Elmerick in a CAF Champions League preliminary game played at St. Mary's Stadium in Tutende. Express got off to a flying start with Eric Kambale scoring within the first quarter of the game, but the Express defense looked disorganized late in the half to grant Elmerick a vital away goal scored by Abdul Egadel for the first half to end it 1-1. Into the second stanza, Martin Chiza restored the home team's advantage after being picked out immaculately by Godfrey Resivawa in the 60th minute. The hosts couldn't get another goal to get bigger advantage ahead of the second leg that is yet to be played in Sudan next week. The winner of this tie will play either Equatorial Guinea's Akonagun FC or Zanaco of Zambia for a place in the lucrative Champions League group phase. Next up for Uganda is continental football in Uganda Revenue Authority against Ethiopian outfit Kofi at the St. Mary's Stadium, Tutende, tomorrow.
Ultimate energy running from his own half, and then
that would keep you informed of what is happening on local news as well as sports, business and the international affairs. Thank you so much for having joined us for UBC's Lunchtime News. My name is Priscilla Nalwoga. Continue to follow live updates on our social media platforms on Twitter at UBC TV Uganda. Until we meet again.